Yep.
Hi everyone, here's chapter 13 of Winston's adventures. This chapter is called Footsteps. Winston was not only a creature in the city on a most important quest. Not too far away, another mouse scurried down a snow-covered side street, their paws slipping on the icy cobbles. Every bit of their little body felt tired and cold. It had been a long few days, with many miles covered, from the back of a bird to the rattling, freezing carriage of a night train thundering through the countryside, searching all the time for clues and never knowing if they were going quite in the right direction. Lots of large human feet were now crunching through the snow around them, and weaving among them was exhausting work. The mouse took a moment to sit on a step and catch their breath. But no sooner had they stopped when their stomach grumbled loudly and they realised they were famished. They still had a few dwindling supplies from home in their bag, of course, but they really did want something more substantial, more filling and more delicious. At that moment the wind changed. It shivered round the corner and down the street, blowing a fine powder of fresh snow from the window ledges and the bare branches of trees. The breeze brought with it the most tantalising smell that made the mouse waggle their nose, their whiskers twitching this way and that. Food, they thought, and lots of it. Delicious, wonderful food, the different smells tumbling all over each other in a great wave of belly-busting loveliness. Where was it coming from? They followed their twitching nose towards the source of the scrumptiousness. Down the street they pattered, sweeping round the curve of an imposing library building on the corner, and then out into a vast and glowing market square. The little mouse's eyes widened as they wandered among the full-to-bursting stalls, stopping here and there to try and nibble of this and that, and a pawful of that. Soon the mouse started to feel better, and much warmer too, so they stopped their busy scurrying and took a moment to take in the scene around them. There was a large and beautiful decorated Christmas tree in the centre of the market, glistening ice sculptures and the cheerful noise of people enjoying themselves. The mouse then looked down and saw that the frozen ground was embroidered with hundreds and hundreds of footprints, big and small, zigzagging all over the place, making intricate patterns in the snow. Then they spotted something very interesting indeed. Tiny footprints. Paw prints, in fact. Tiny paw prints not dissimilar to their own. These ones seemed to come from a stall selling gingerbread, a smell that was so familiar yet ever so slightly different. Where were the tiny paw prints going, and who had made them? Could these perhaps be another creature here who could help them on their most important quest? The mouse began to follow the footprints through the snow. Down a row of stalls they went, and as they crept carefully among the human feet, their whiskers wobbled again and their pink nose twitched delightedly. Cheese! Somewhere nearby there was cheese, and the tiny paw prints were going towards it. The mouse quickened their pace, hurrying to the end of another stall and turned the corner. Then they saw it. In the distance, between a jumble of human legs and feet, and silhouetted against the bright glow of a large lantern, was the maker of the paw prints. The mouse felt their heart beat fast with excitement. Another mouse! They were just about to run as fast as they could towards the stranger when something stopped them in their tracks. The mouse in the distance was standing at the groaning cheese stall, but he wasn't alone. There was a rat there, wrapped up in a shawl, and more worryingly, the large, orange, unmistakable form of a fox. The excitement the mouse had felt turned to paw printing worry. They darted back out of the view and stood with their back pressed against the rough wooden side of a stall. They hardly dared to breathe in case the fox sniffed them out. 1 minute passed, then another, then another. Then the little mouse slowly braved a peek back round the corner. The fox had gone, but so had the other mouse and the rat. For a moment the mouse dithered about going to the stall and getting some cheese, but eventually decided against it. The fox could still be there lurking about, and they were concerned. So instead the mouse took a deep breath and turned the other way. Then she continued on her journey all by herself again.